Good morning, everyone. Well, it's still a bit of a stormy day. 2 days ago, we lost power for a couple of days. Tree came down, hit the neighbor's garage. Tree came down behind me and hit the neighbor's house back there. They were trying to sell the house. I had a few things happen, trees and so forth, but not too bad. The one is kind of leaning to the north because we got the wind from the south. So I don't know, it's bumping up against another tree. We got lots of trees. Trees are good until it gets really windy. Then they don't have big enough roots. So I've been out here tinkering around the garage. I got the CV Performance idle mixture screw for the Keihin carburetor, 81 to 87. And it just allows you to use your fingers rather than to try and get a screw in there, a screwdriver, which is very small. And let me get a flashlight. Because it's right up there. You can see the new one with the knurled. And I put a notch so I know where the front's at. But I couldn't really even get it screwed in. So I contacted them and they emailed me and said different manufacturers, they were trying people even in South America to make these carburetors. I said, well, mine actually says made in Japan, but mine has that 1%. They thought it was the thread pitch, and I said, no, the thread pitch is just fine. It is the area right here. You can see, so if anybody ever does this, let's see. Well, let's see. See where the threads stop? Then you got a shaft, and then it was like from the little black line. There, go like this. From the little black line up, that needed to be. It was about 20 thousandths bigger on the one from CV Performance or CIA. So I just end up taking real slowly, and you can see the marks, just working this area but not getting into the tip. Just working that from the black line down. The black line is probably where that little rubber O-ring goes, because you've got a rubber O-ring, you got a metal washer, very small, and then you have a spring. Well, once I took everything out, there was 2 rubber O-rings, so somebody probably didn't see the other one. And they're hard to get in and out, or you don't see them. But there was 2 of them in there, so I only put 1 back in. Then you got the washer, goes up against the spring. That way you don't start tearing up the rubber O-ring. That seals the air out. So this one was about 1 turnout. It's supposed to be started at about a 1 1/4. So 1 turnout, and the new one is about half a turnout. Now, I can't go anywhere because it's raining, storming, and so forth, but it's running good here in the garage, no coughing. Starts good, starts easy. So that's what I've been doing today. Just out here tinkering around with that. Anybody that wants to, seems to be, I mean, they had some good information, and I gave them some information. Obviously, they're a lot smarter than I am. They're making things. So it starts pretty good, and I ended up, instead of bolting this to the side, I ended up making one of those and kind of notched it, soldered it together. It's like a copper water pipe, so that's a little bit better. Looks a little bit better. And when I take the cover off, I don't have to undo the wires so much. Just got the 1 point. I have to shout out to Kraken's Garage. I was lucky enough and amazed that, got another one of the stickers there. Amazed that I'd won this. This is pretty neat. I'll plug it in. It helps me a lot because even after my cataract surgery, I need to see better. So Let's see, there it is. So I can have fancy, I can see real well now. So I'll be using this, that's for sure. It doesn't do justice, I tell you, but that thing really magnifies and has all kinds of different colors too. Where'd the colors go? Oh, they're there. Oh, that's the up and down. There's the colors. Whoops. So I can do fancy photography now, see? I have no excuse. I'll be having this in the back light of the area. So, yep. That pretty nice. It was something that he evaluated and he found it useful, and he gives the stuff away after evaluating it. Let's see, is it brighter? And then one is the lower. It dims down. There you go. See? And gets brighter. Yeah. And then you can change it. There you go. I think that's it. Yep. Blue, white, pink, pinky, pinker, bluer. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Sure appreciate that. I got to mount that somewhere. Trying to think. It's got a clamp, so it'll clamp. This whole thing actually pulls out. This was a school desk they got rid of when the school closed where I worked. So that's why I got a lot of stuff from them. And yeah, I could pinch it. That actually slides out. It fit in there perfect. One of the legs was broke. So either be here or on the bench here. But it swings quite a ways. So, and I had something like this from the research lab I worked in the 70s, and they were throwing stuff out. It never had this light. Back then, maybe there was like an old regular incandescent bulb that was on this side, something like that. But that's, appreciate that. Thank you, sir. And if you want to check out, that's Kraken's Garage and Adventures. And he does a lot of neat stuff. He's got a newer Harley. He's got a Vespa and several others. I like a Vespa. I mean, I had one when I was a kid. It was just found in a swamp. It didn't run. I think the motor's half torn apart, but we pushed each other around the neighborhood, you know. But got Randy's motor out and dropped the oil tank because the INS bearing was totally gone and the hole was twice as big. I think I mentioned that before. Put it over here. So you can see there that there used to be a bearing in that hole. That hole used to be smaller. So I'll save the jugs and the pull the pistons, but I'll leave the pistons in the jugs, and I'll just, so that way the rings I'll check out and see how good it looks. But the whole upper area should be fine. Just have to find either a bottom or a whole motor would be nice. But I'll save the jugs and the pistons in the jugs. That way they can be stuck on another motor. So he took home the oil tank, and it was nice and shiny. It looked like metallic paint in there. It was some fantastic metallic in there, let me tell you. So, and this was that one that's the firefighters, with all the firefighters' names on the tank, or on the thing in between the tanks. There's probably a name for that. So that'll be up there for a while. He's got to save up money for a motor. Something I couldn't pass up. I think it was Eagle Iron made this back in early 80s. I'm not much for fancy, but what the heck. I mean, that's like the shiniest thing on the bike. So I usually have something to hold, like a bag sits there, you know, with the, but I thought that was pretty cool. You know, it was for $20 or $25 or something on eBay, and the box from the 80s said like $89. So that's pretty cool. And normally I have something like this, or I like this one, to hold your stuff in there. But, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Well, I'll catch you guys later. Stay safe from the storms. We're supposed to get hit again tonight about 4 to 8. Hopefully it won't be as bad. I was out here in the garage. I just closed the door, and it was like all of a sudden water was rushing in under the door, but yet I got the the rubber thing under the garage door. And then it was like somebody was hitting the garage door with a shotgun. Apparently that was the ice coming down. But yeah, I just cleaned the driveway off. I closed the door and wham, 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 wham. Kay was in the house, my wife. So, and then when it was done, then I come out and look around, and I walk up and down the street. It's amazing that you meet all kinds of people that, they don't think to come out and say hi until there's a disaster. So, got my trusty chainsaw. And this thing I've had this for at least 20 years. It's a little one, but by golly, that one always goes and starts. It's the small one. And keep the chain sharpened. I got a couple of new chains. I got a little Dremel tool with a little chain sharpening thing, sharpen it up. So I started went one end of the street to the other, and then that way the crews could get around, the people get around, and other people, they were moving and I was cutting. So, you come together after a disaster, which is good. It's one way to meet your neighbors. It's not the best way, but it's a way. Yep, catch you guys later. Stay safe. Bye-bye.